Good morning, everyone. On today's show, we've got a new border format, so we're going to test that out today. In addition, I will have updates on my neck, and we're going to be doing not one, but two taste testings of Japanese snacks here on the podcast because of yesterday's goals being hit. I've also got an update on the new treats box that's on the way. Plus, I want to talk about what happened with Street Fighter 6 last night. It was kind of weird, I'm not going to lie. All this and more on today's chill and fun episode of the Level 1 Podcast.
Get ready for some meaningful content, because the king is back, the king of the live stream, the king is back. Woo!
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the show, and welcome to the new wider screen format. I'm trying out something new today, since we now have much higher quality visuals, including a better webcam and awesome background. I'm actually trying having a bigger border, as you can see, just basically a podcast bar title, rather than having a giant border around the screen. For those of you who don't know, the reason that we actually had a giant border here on the show to begin with was because I didn't used to have good quality. I had an outdated webcam that was very fuzzy and bad color, so we tried to hide that by kind of shrinking the camera within a border of a show. But here we are in 2025, a good month and a half into it, and I realized, wait a minute, I got great quality stuff. Why are we hiding the quality? So one of my editors redesigned some of the borders, and we'll be able to actually alternate between these moving forward and try them out and see how they look. If you guys like the look without the actual border, we can do it. For example, as you can see, all the different variations that we can kind of throw up there over time. So let's see how it goes. I'd like your feedback, obviously. Do you like the more minimalist border, or did you like the old one that actually had the full borders on the sides? Personally, I think the minimalist work has worked this year so far, having not a big cluttered background, but instead being more focused on the content and the better visuals. So let's see, right? Also, I believe that this camera is working fully now. And what I mean by that is that I think I've worked out all the bugs after doing those driver updates earlier in the week. I think that this camera actually is working well now and is actually allowing me to command it and do what I want with it without much issue. So that's a great thing. Hopefully it keeps working properly. And, you know, it's supposed to be following me right now. And indeed it is, see? So it's working well as a face cam. It's now been about 1 week that we've been using this AI-powered camera as my face cam during gameplay. And for the most part, people are really liking it. There's a couple times when it doesn't look as good, but for the most part, I think people are saying, yeah, 2 thumbs up. It's a good improvement. So around here, we've got lots of great stuff going on tech-wise and improvements-wise, visuals-wise. Right, Jasper Kitty? Right, buddy? Jasper's here. He's right here. Jump up on the chair so everyone can see. Running around. Well, he'll be around. He might jump on me. We'll see. He's on the floor right now. So I hope that you're all doing well. I hope that I find you all well and in good spirits. And if not, hopefully we'll do something about that on today's show. Indeed, it is Monday, the 10th of February, 2025, and I'm Darkside Phil, and this is the Level 1 Podcast. Today we have various topics to cover. All right, first off, I have an update on my neck. I'd like to let you all know how I'm doing health-wise, because this is actually going to determine what games we end up playing moving forward this week. And I have something to show you that arrived yesterday that I used last night and actually helped me a ton. So I want to kind of talk a little bit about it on the show today. In addition, we've got double taste testing to do. Not one, but 2 treats will be taste tested on this podcast later on in the show because yesterday we hit not 1, but 2 goals. It was awesome. The first stream, we did not hit the goals, but we still made over $100 during the Monster Hunter stream, and we're going to talk about that. But then after the Monster Hunter stream, we did Street Fighter 6, and we got tons of support for Street Fighter 6. So 2 goals hit. We're at 8 out of 10, folks. We only have 2 goals to go, and then we're going to be doing the Arby's DSP Tries It. the first DSP tries it of the Prestige. That's right. We hit 100 goals. We reset. We're already at 8. So only 2 to go. And I'm excited because I haven't had Arby's in many, many years. So I'm curious to see, what they've got and what it's like right now. They have burgers now, which is bizarre to me because they were always known as the alternative burger place. You don't eat burgers, you eat Arby's because it's different. And now they've got burgers, right? Kind of weird. So they got that, and also going to try things like the fish sandwich and the like. So I'm excited for it. Let's get some support on the stream. Who will be the first person to support the podcast this morning? Let's find out and get you up on the leaderboard. All right. But also, a big thing that I want to talk about today is what happened last night with Street Fighter 6, because I'm confused and I honestly don't know what really happened. I'm just as confused as everyone else who was watching the stream, and I'm trying to get to the bottom of it. All right, so let's talk about that because I want to keep playing Street Fighter 6 with Mai Shiranui, the new character who I've been doing very well with, but I was scratching my head last night while we were playing the game, and no one could really figure out what was going on. Fed Roger, you'll find out. He says, what happened? I'm going to tell you. It was weird and bizarre, to say the least, okay? All right. So, let's talk. Let's start at the beginning. Let's talk about my neck. As you guys know, it was about 1 week ago when I told you guys, man, I was sleeping, and I guess I must have wrenched my neck in my sleep and did something to really hurt it. And I told you the story about how over like 12, 13 years ago, one day I'm in the doorway of my bathroom back when I lived in a condo in Connecticut, and I just twist my head the wrong way, and I get incredibly bad shooting pain going all the way down my neck, through my shoulder, all the way down the back of my arm, into the forearm, into my thumb, and I lost feeling in my thumb, and I literally could not feel my thumb for 2 months. It was that bad. 2 months of numbness, pain, and nerve problems. Now, this is because basically I have a chronic condition with my spine that's getting worse as I get older. There's nothing I can really do about it. It's hereditary. My dad also has it, and he's much older than me, and he's getting tons of problems now in his old age, and it sucks because it means that's what I'm in store for. So a week ago, I did something in my sleep. I wake up, and I've got, again, this shooting nerve pain. Now, the good news is I didn't do it so badly that my forearm and thumb are affected. They're not. My actual hands and, my arms are okay. But I just got this ongoing shooting pain, a tightness, and just discomfort in my shoulder and neck that isn't going away. Sometimes it's better. Sometimes it's way worse. And it all depends on what's going on. Over the course of this last week, I tried mitigating it. I tried doing things. Nothing was working. Okay. In fact, I felt like in my after the marathon on Friday, I went to sleep, and when I woke up on Saturday morning, my day off, it was the worst it's been all week. It was incredible nerve pain all day long, ongoing, and I just basically had to phase it out. I'm a little lucky in this regard. Why? Because I used to have a debilitating back injury between my L4, L5 vertebrae. I had a severely herniated disc in my 20s, and it was incredible pain and numbness for about, if I think about the time period, it was probably from my late 20s, so probably around the time that I was like 25, 26, all the way through, probably until like maybe 7, 8 years ago. So this was ongoing for, the greater part of a decade. So I was used to that level of pain. I'm used to having ongoing shooting nerve pain, and I've just learned to phase it out. So right now, I might be like, oh my God, I can't work. I can't do anything. But I'm actually used to it. And I know that's sad, but I'm just desensitized to this kind of pain because I've had it for so long. So it's just not that big of a deal for me. I just try not to think about it. And quite honestly, if I keep myself busy with stuff, I don't even think about it, and it doesn't really affect me. Okay. But the problem has been that there's things that I've wanted to do this week. For example, I want to play Call of Duty on mouse and keyboard. And mouse and keyboard means that I got to have my hands and arms up to play. And that's going to put stress on my shoulder and neck muscles. And I don't know if I want to do that with my back hurting me so much. It's a risk. What if I end up hurting it worse? I don't know what's going to happen. But what sucks is Call of Duty's been a great part of the rotation. You guys have enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it ever since I started playing on mouse and keyboard about a month ago. It's been great. Like, I'm doing better and better. And now I've gotten good with all kinds of different weapons that previously I hadn't used. Now we're using an Uzi and powering it up. After that, I think I want to try sniping. So I don't want to have now a game get completely removed from rotation because of this stupid injury that I have. So basically, what I did, I had to do something. Okay, I had to do something. I couldn't just keep ignoring it and hoping it was going to get better or go away. So I ordered a specialty pillow. All right, this pillow is designed specifically for people who have neck, back, and shoulder issues. It has multiple positions that you can use to sleep on it to give you support that you need so that when you're sleeping, you stay in place and don't move so much so that you can get the proper support and you don't end up wrenching yourself in your sleep. Okay? So, here it is. Thought I wasn't going to have show and tell. You're out of your mind. This is the special, I think it's called osteo pillow. So it's for, I forget the scientific word. It's osteo something. Osteopathy, osteo something. It has to do with your neck and spine. Okay? So this is the thing. It's a big beast of a pillow. It's made of memory foam, but it's also a breathable material. And it has two positions, essentially. If you're a side sleeper, okay, you put your head here sideways like this, okay, and you keep your shoulder into this crevice here. And basically, this gives you support in your sleep so you don't move around and you don't move your head or neck. Now, let me tell you, I had tried to sleep on my normal pillow in that position the night before, and I had excruciating pain. Last night, I slept in that very position on this pillow, and I had zero pain, and I stayed completely still in my entire night of sleep. I never wanted to move. It was comfortable as heck. Okay? So for me, that was perfect. Now, there's also flipping it gives you a special back support area. So if you're someone who sleeps on your back, you put your head there, just like this. And now you have perfect shoulder and back support. And again, when you're there comfortable just laying like that, this is the natural position your neck's supposed to be in, and you have no desire to move around. You just stay comfy on the pillow like that. So this is a really good pillow, but I got to get used to sleeping on it. I've only slept on it once so far, and I really liked the experience. And I can tell you, at the very least, I didn't hurt my neck further. I didn't move and toss and twist in my sleep and wake up in a weird position and end up in even more pain. So that's a great thing. Now, how am I feeling today? Not great. I still got it. And if I move the wrong way, I still get this shooting. I cannot, once again, I still can't lean my head this way. I could turn it this way. I can lean it kind of forward and back. If I do too far forward, there it is. There's the pain right there. If I lean it too far back, there it is. There's the pain there right there. So I could go like a little bit of limited movement up and down to nod, and I could do some twisting, but I cannot lean my head to the right at all. If I do, it pinches the nerve. So it might take a long time. Like I said, it took me 2 months to recover from that serious neck pain that I had, 12 years ago. I very well might be in that situation again. I hope not. It is what it is. It sucks. It's just reality, and I got to deal with it. But I'm just trying to relay it to you that, number one, this happens as you get older. Get ready, because as you get older, you're going to get all kinds of problems. If you're heavy, meaning you're overweight, you're going to have issues with your knees, your ankles, your back. If you just have problems with your joints, you're going to have things, arthritis, things like this. This sucks, and there's nothing you can really do about it once you have it. You're just stuck with it, and you got to deal with it. So, I'm doing my best. I bought the pillow. Hopefully this is going to help, moving forward. And tonight I have Call of Duty on the schedule. All right. So tonight I like to attempt to play it. I just don't know how it's going to go. I'm just being honest. Like, I want to play it tonight, but we got to see how my neck and back feels when I go to play it. I just don't know how it's going to work. I hope it works fine and I can play and we don't have a lot of problems. But it is a limitation of me and my body. It's not something that I caused. It's not really something that I can cure. It just sucks. It's an ongoing thing, right? And it's hilarious because people say stuff like, "Oh, there's a lot you can do. You can do healthy eating and exercise and therapy and massages and this and that." I love people who, number one, are know-it-alls and think that they know better than people who actually have the conditions. That's number one, the thing I think is funny as shit. People who sit on a stream and think that they know better than the person who's had the condition for over a decade. That's number one. Number two, I love people who say there's a lot you can do, and then they literally spew out a laundry list of shit that isn't stuff that you can realistically do. Eat healthy. I do eat healthy. I've dramatically improved my diet in the last 5 to 10 years. Everyone knows this because I had things like gout and stuff like that, and I need to adjust my diet to be healthier. Look at my weight now compared to what it used to be. I used to be 240 pounds. I'm 195 pounds now, and even losing more. So there you go. You say exercise. Yeah, exercise, meaning just make sure that you have some basic stretchability, right? Nimbleness, and you're not all, sitting and not moving all day. I don't, I'm fine with that regard. I'm not in any situation where I'm like overweight and I'm decrepit and I'm anything like that, right? And then you say, well, therapy. No, therapy, no. What you could stretch, you could do things. Doesn't help when you do it in your sleep. All right. There's a difference between, oh, I have an unhealthy lifestyle and I just sit around, I'm overweight and I eat bad and I'm a big no load and I got bad heart conditions. I got freaking diabetes and now my joints hurt and I'm hurting my neck. There's a difference between that and you're someone who literally has had chronic spine issues since the 20s. You know what I'm saying? I've had this for 20 years of my life and it's not going away. It's just something that I have to learn how to mitigate and deal with. There's fantasy land and then there's reality. And some people like to live in fantasy land and think that you can magically just make all health issues go away. That's not true. I am here to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, as a realist, I want you to understand something. It doesn't matter how much you exercise. It doesn't matter how healthy you eat. It doesn't matter how many stretches you do, how many doctor appointments you go to, how many injections you get, how many medications you take. You're going to have medical issues, and you better just learn to deal with them psychologically and physically, because if you don't, you're going to be a fucking bumbling mess, crybabying about it for the rest of your life, instead of learning how to just say, okay, I'll just deal with it and move on. All these things that these people say, oh, you could do this, you could do this. Or you could just live with it because you can't cure everything. You might want to believe that. You might want to think that life is rainbows and unicorns and everything is magically curable. It's not. I've had these conditions for over 20 years. I will have them for the rest of my life. I've come to terms with that. So I don't need to run to the fucking doctor every time that I accidentally pinch the nerve in my neck. But maybe you do because you're a sissy and you think that some doctor is magically going to cure every problem you have. And you think that you have the crazy health solution to every problem. You don't. You're an idiot. If you sit on someone's stream and you're trying to be an armchair doctor, you're a moron. So, anyway, yeah, that's what I'm going through right now, and it really sucks, but it is what it is. Like I said, I'll try to sleep better now that I have this new pillow. In fact, I'll probably just bring this back to the bedroom now, but it was I got a good night's sleep last night. Like, it actually was legitimately a really good night's sleep. And I was like, wow, I didn't move. And typically when I sleep, I'll wake up in another position, and I didn't have to move at all. I was like, wow, this is nice. I didn't feel uncomfortable or that I had to move or do anything. So the pillow definitely is serving its purpose. Now I'm curious, it is memory foam, and I'm curious how long memory foam will last, because memory foam doesn't necessarily last too long depending on the quality. Pillow wasn't cheap, but also it wasn't like insanely expensive. So I guess I'll see as I use it every night, and hopefully I'll have some updates for you that are positive over the next week or two. All right, but it may affect streams. Like I said, tonight, I want to play Call of Duty. I'm going to leave it on the schedule for now, but let's see how things go today, and let's see how I feel by the late streams, right? So there you have it. All right. Okay, I have returned the pillow to the bedroom. Let's now do a couple of shout outs, and then we will jump into the next segment where I want to talk about what happened with Street Fighter 6 last night, which I'm still stumped about. Maybe people will be able to shed some light. So, first off, 2 super chats, both from Logan's blog. I don't know why Logan's blog did 2 separate super chats for exactly the same message, but they did. So Logan's blog did a $10 super chat, then did a second $10 super chat saying, "Hey, Phil, can you wish my girlfriend a happy birthday? Her name is Brooklyn. Thanks a lot." Sure. Happy birthday to Brooklyn. I hope you have a good day. Thank you for the support. I don't know why you did 2 identical ones, though. But thank you. Regardless, let's get you up on the leaderboard. Did I spell that wrong? I did. Typo. Okay. So $20 of support to start today. And then I received a $2 tip from Flatman B. He says, "Hey guys, I just got home from work. Hope everyone's having a nice day. Much love and peace to all." Thank you, Flatman B. It's good to see you here today. I hope you had a good day at work and you have maybe some fun stuff ahead. Cool. So currently at $22 of support. Thank you guys so far for the early start. Let's get that momentum rolling. How about we get some subs over on Kick and we get some memberships on YouTube, since we currently don't have either of each, right? Let's get that rolling, and let's get towards our goal of 150 to hit number 9 out of 10 and be so close to the Arby's DSP tries, which I can't wait for. In the next couple of days, like I said, my wife is currently working for the next several days. So to have that during one of those days so she doesn't have to cook would be perfect. Okay? Okay. Very nice. All right. So, let's talk about what happened last night. All right. So, as you guys may or may not know, the latest character of Street Fighter 6 was released last Wednesday, Mai Shiranui. Now, Mai is a character from the Fatal Fury series and then the King of Fighters series. She has had many different iterations over the years and has played differently in pretty much every game, although she always has gameplay based on throwing fan projectiles and using fire or flame abilities. In Street Fighter 6 particularly, I think she's actually pretty darn good, although she's good right now because she hasn't even been in the game for a week. And I think that right now she has certain tricks and techniques that are based on using her fans, but over time, her fans are not actually going to be working that well. And the reason I say that is people are probably going to adjust to the fans and figure out ways around them. Right now, she seems pretty tricky and dominant, but I get the feeling they're going to change her. Now, the more that I'm playing, the more I'm realizing her normals are better than I thought. For example, playing last night, a lot of people were counter hitting me with her low medium punch. And if they did, they could literally press another low medium punch and then do a combo or drive rush into an extended combo. Now, I didn't know that. So that's something that I'm going to start using in my own gameplay. Also, someone started doing back heavy kick while you're getting up like as a meaty. And if you do that, you have frame advantage. So now after that, if anyone tries to do anything, you could stuff them and do a combo. So I'm learning more and more the more that I play with this character. And to be honest, at first, I didn't think she was going to be very good. But now, looking at her more and more, I actually think she's one of the best DLC characters they've added to the game. And that over time, she's going to improve better and better. And that's a good thing. Like, obviously, you want the DLC characters to be good. I'm going to be honest, I don't think Terry Bogard's very good. I think he kind of sucks ass. And for example, Aki was really bad when she first released. Now they've tweaked her enough that she's actually quite good. So anyway, I like the character. When I played with her last week, I did an entire day of casual play, and I won far more than I lost. I think by the end of the day, I had like a 65+% win ratio, which is great. I mean, for any fighting game, you can win 65% of the time. You're doing really well, right? So last night, I wanted to play with Mai again. Now, right off the bat, from the beginning of the night, it was on the table that perhaps I would do my ranked placement matches and see where I would, rank in ranked play. What does that mean? Well, in Street Fighter 6, when you first start playing ranked matches, you have to play a series of 10 matches. And dependent on your performance in those matches, the game will rank you in the ranked system, okay, and allow you to be placed. And then you start there when you actually play real matches after your 10 placement matches. So you could go as low as, I think, what is the lowest rank in the game? I don't even know. It's like bronze isn't even the lowest, is it? I think there's one lower than bronze, okay? But you could be like, yo, bronze, silver, gold, platinum, diamond, and then finally master rank. Once you hit master rank, you're there forever, but you could still lose points. And then on top of that, there's new ranks. Apparently with ranked play, they've changed it, and there's even new rankings within the master ranking that you can achieve. So people were like, they wanted me to do my ranked placements. And I was like, well, let me do a couple warm-up matches. Let's see how it goes. As I start, my internet craps out. Now, what do I mean by my internet craps out? I don't mean that my internet completely went off. That's not what happened, okay? My internet dropped in quality from full green bars, me broadcasting at, say, 15,000 kilobits per second, which is what I stream at, way down to like 2,000. Then it shot back up, then it went down again. Then it shot back up, then it went down again. And we're all looking at it like, what is going on with my internet right now? Why is it doing that? Now, to assuage any fears, because some people immediately run to the worst case scenario and they say, oh no, is this the same situation that happened to you 2 years ago where you had a Comcast employee who was actually messing with your modem, affecting your streams? There is a very simple answer for this. No, it was definitely not that. How do I know? Because a Comcast employee, number one, can no longer actually access my modem because I don't have a Comcast modem. I bought my own. So they don't have the ability to go in there and mess with any settings or anything, okay? The only thing a Comcast employee would be able to do is a hard reset, meaning telling my modem turn off and start up again. And that's not what was happening. This was a fluctuating reliability going like this, okay? So that has nothing to do with Comcast. Now, of course, the other thing that everyone said, oh, it must have been a DDoS attack, right? It had to have been a DDoS attack because it seemed to only happen as soon as you wanted to play the game online. No, it was not a DDoS attack. How do I know that? Because I've had DDoS attacks happen to me before. When a DDoS attack happens, which is a directed denial of service, I think is what it stands for, or something like that. What happens is they will send via a bot network of computers, they all send an insane flood of information packets through the internet to your IP address. They pound your IP address all at once, creating a bottleneck. When the bottleneck happens, your connection disconnects and shuts down, and then basically you have to completely cycle from scratch and reconnect to the internet. So you get a denial of service because you're flooded with so many packets of data, okay? I've seen this happen before. That is not what happened last night, because if that had happened again, my modem would have completely turned off and then cycled back up, and that didn't happen. So it's not a Comcast employee, and it's not a denial of service, okay? So what's going on? I'm going to be honest, I don't know. It lasted about 15 to 20 minutes where it just kept fluctuating like this, okay? Then it seemed to solidify. And I'm like, all right, well, since it's solidified, let's get back into it. And we played casual matches then for about another 30, 40 minutes. And the good news is I did ridiculously well with in casual matches last night. Despite the fact that we started off with insane amounts of lag, all right, I did recover. And by the end of the casual matches that I had played, I had 16 wins and only 5 losses. So that's a 76% win rate in casual. I'm like, wow, all right. So here's what happened, okay? The first hour ended. And then some people started saying to me, Phil, will you now do your ranked placements? And I said, did you not see what happened at the beginning of the stream? That my internet was fluctuating badly. Now, it is true the last 30, 40 minutes, it's been fine. But what's to say that it's not going to start having these issues again if I go to do ranked? So I feel like I probably shouldn't do it tonight. But people were like, man, you've been playing with mine now for a bit and you're doing really well. Now is the time. If you wait, you might not do so well. And I said, well, guys, it would be great if you could support the stream if that's what you want. Let's get some support going. And if we do well, maybe I'll risk it. And so it happened. People started supporting, and I was like, all right, you know what? I said if the support came in, I would do it, and the support came in. So I said, let's do it then. Let's try it. Let's do these ranked placement matches. All right. So you can see for yourself. All right. Watch the video from last night. It's the second video that I put out, which was all ranked matches. Okay. Here was my experience. Now, admittedly, while I was doing some of these matches, all of a sudden the internet crapped out again. It did. Like, you could see my internet was going like this again, and it was going yellow, red, and then back to green. So one match I think was massively affected by that. All right. But the other ranked matches that I did were absolutely unacceptable in quality. Allow me to explain what I mean. I have my Street Fighter 6 set to search for 4 to 5 bar connection matches. What that means is that it's looking for almost the best quality. The sad fact is, if you search for only 5 bar connections, you'll barely ever play anyone ever in Street Fighter 6 anymore. And the reason for that is because the player base for Street Fighter 6 has dwindled dramatically. When the game first came out 2 years ago, sky high player base. But that player base is very small compared to what it once was. A lot of people fell off from playing the game. And because of that, it's harder to find people in ranked. Okay, you got to kind of settle for a 4 bar connection. If you're looking for a 5, you're almost never going to find it unless someone who lives on your street decides to boot up the game at the same time you're playing it. All right. So that's the thing, is that it all happens. All right. With every fighting game, it's just an inevitability. The player base is going to fall off, and you got to deal with the fact that your connections are going to be worse. All right. But last night, I'm playing ranked, and I'm doing my placement matches. Okay. And I have it set, search for 4 to 5 bar connections. So it gave me 4 bar connections. Okay. I'm not kidding you. I wish this was an exaggeration. Every single ranked match I played last night started off good, and then halfway through the match, the connection declined or degraded. Went from 4 bars to 3 bars, in some cases 2 and 1, and then came back. Now you might say, well, it's your internet. I was checking and it wasn't. There was one case where it did happen again. My internet did mess up, okay? But that was one match. The rest of those matches, it was not my internet. It was actually the game itself. Case in point to prove this, after having played ranked for an hour, I wanted to do one final match, and I just couldn't even get a match in ranked anymore. So I went to casual play, searched, immediately found someone, full green connection, played the whole match with 0 lag. So it's the ranked. It's actually not my connection. It was ranked that was the issue. So what I think has happened here is, because the player base has fallen off, now when you go to play ranked in Street Fighter 6, it's much harder to find players of your level. There just aren't as many players playing anymore. And especially now, they just reset the ranks again, I believe. So because they did, I think what's happened is it's even harder to find someone around your level, because a lot of people haven't even played again to reset their rankings. So the player base being so small, now it's very hard to get a consistently good connection. But the problem with that then is that Street Fighter 6 should admit it and not lie. What do I mean by that? Why is it that when I search for a 4 to 5 bar connection, it gives me a connection that claims it is, but then as soon as the match starts, it goes down to a 3 or 2 bar connection? Isn't that a little suspect, don't you think? And isn't it weird that it never did that before, and now all of a sudden it's doing it every single match? It seems to me like what Capcom has done is they're trying to hide their problem, instead of being transparent and saying, listen, it's just going to be a lot harder to get good ranked matches moving forward because our player base died. Instead, they're just actually showing the connection is better than it is. And I hate to say it, they do that in Call of Duty as well. It's been proven that it'll say you have a certain level of connection, but then all of a sudden the game will not be that level of connection. They're just full of shit. And they're trying to hide and mask the fact that they don't have a great connection or netcode or player base. It's nonsense. If literally the only matches in ranked are 3 bars, then it should just say that. And then I'll have to accept that if I want to play ranked, I'm going to be playing laggy matches, and there's nothing I can really do. But instead, by showing every match as a 4 bar, but then as soon as I start playing, it goes down to a 3, that's bullshit. That's bait and switch. That's disingenuous, and it shouldn't be allowed. Okay? And this is a problem, not kidding. Every single ranked match that happened to me. Okay. I'm playing the match. All of a sudden, there's a giant issue where the lag hits, and now my combo drops. Oh, all of a sudden, I can't block anything. All right. Now, I played really hard in my ranked placements. Okay. Admittedly, I lost to one guy legit. I lost to two people just because of lag, where I had matches won, but it kept dropping inputs or wouldn't block or wouldn't do anything that I was doing because of the lag, and the person got away with wins. The other times, it was very hard to win because the connection was so bad, but I got it. So I won 7 out of 10 matches, and the game placed me at 5-star diamond, the maximum level you can obtain when doing your placements. So I did the best I possibly could have with and I was pleased with that. And I said, all right, let's start doing our first several matches. And literally every match after that ended up being laggy as hell. It was ridiculous. And I was like, so let me get this straight. If I want to play this game ranked, I just have to play laggy matches from now on. I'm not going to be able to have a good match in ranked ever. I just have to accept the fact that the game will be dropping inputs, lagging up, freezing up, teleporting characters across the screen. This is just the norm now for the game, apparently. That's pathetic. If that's the case, that is absolutely unacceptable for what's supposed to be the top competitive fighter in the world, that's the experience that they're providing, okay? Now, you might say, well, what could Capcom have been doing possibly about it? Well, Capcom could have done things. They could have improved their network and their infrastructure, meaning their servers and the system that they're using for matchmaking. They could have improved it over time. They could have, instead of just saying, hey, rollback netcode is the best, bro, just use it for everything, they could have actually said, let's invest some research time and money into improve the netcode for fighting games. So that way, we don't have to rely on a rollback system that teleports characters all over the screen and frequently drops inputs to catch up on both sides of the equation. Because that's what rollback netcode does. For those who don't know, it uses a predictive netcode to determine what someone pushes, and then it, after the fact, fixes it. So you very well might say, oh, someone jumped, I do my anti-air Shoryuken, and then the game says, oh, no, that didn't happen, and it shows you doing a Shoryuken, then it sucks you back to the ground and says, oh, no, instead the person hit you, and then they get a combo. That's awful. That's probably the worst thing you could ever do in a competitive situation. Show you one outcome based on what you input, then take it back and say, oh, that never happened. It's the ultimate theft is what it is. Rollback netcode is atrocious. It never should have been created. The idea that you're going to predict what a competitive player is going to do is ludicrous. All right. Rollback netcode does, it hides issues with internet. It makes it look smooth when it's not. Because the other thing that they don't tell you is that rollback netcode, intentionally drops your inputs to give you a better outcome and a better visual. Meaning, you could very well be doing a combo perfectly, but the rollback netcode will say, well, we rolled the dice and decided that actually this other outcome happened instead, so fuck you, here you don't get your combo, even though you did it correctly. Hence, this is why in Street Fighter 6, there are players who are very abusive of rollback netcode, and here's what they do. Let's say, for example, you're a Zangief player, okay? What you do is you guess that the opponent will drop every single combo because of rollback netcode. And so while any opponent is hitting you with a combo, you all of a sudden start going crazy, spinning 360 and pianoing the buttons like this. Why do you do this? Because if the rollback netcode rolls the dice and says, your opponent didn't do the input, even though they did, and that combo drops, you'll instantly get a 360 and grab them. Now, you didn't earn it. You literally did nothing to earn the move, and there's no way you could have possibly known that your opponent was dropping the combo. But people have started doing these guessing game things to see what happens if someone drops a combo. For example, I was fighting a Ken, and every time that I started hitting the Ken with a combo, they would start mashing Dragon Punch input in the hopes that if I drop my combo, they could just do a giant Dragon Punch through it. And one time, literally, it worked. Again, I didn't mistime my combo. The rollback netcode caused the mistiming by rolling the dice and saying, oh, bad luck, bro. And then it just allowed the Ken to do an EX Dragon Punch through my combo. This is why the netcode is trash, okay? So what Capcom could have done is said, we're going to stop listening to moronic, mouth-drooling idiots in the fighting game community who think that rollback netcode is a good thing, and we're going to actually work on designing better netcode. We're going to actually have, like, experts in the field of internet latency work on developing a better netcode that will then end up being the groundwork of what all competitive games should be using in the future. Then they could have patented it, they could have licensed it out, and they could have made an insane amount of money with this netcode. Instead, here we are, 20 years after GGPO was ever created. GGPO is the name of the netcode that's used in all of these games that was designed by one of the Cannon brothers. And they just say, it's good enough. Just put the same shit out there. So now that the player base has dwindled, and now that there aren't as many people playing Street Fighter 6, it's almost impossible to get a good competitive match in of ranked online because the competitive players are few and far between, and you're just going to get connections that claim they're 4-bar, but they're really 3 or 2 because they're lying. They're actually misrepresenting the connections to make you feel like they're better than they are, and that there's a bigger player base than there is. And then on top of that, rollback netcode is worse when you have these worse connections and just causes nonstop problems. Like yesterday, we had teleporting characters. We had combos constantly dropping for no good reason, despite the fact that I didn't change my inputs. It was a joke. And sadly, what ends up happening when you get bad connections with rollback netcode, button mashing wins. Because you may not realize this, but rollback netcode favors repetitive inputs. Why? Because rollback netcode always assumes that you're going to keep pressing the same buttons until it finally gets the inputs, and then it'll try to rectify the situation. So literally, if you're just jabbing, just jabbing beats almost everything in rollback netcode lag, because it will give you the jabs and drop everyone else's inputs. So these players now literally just stand next to you, jab, jab, jab. Well, no, I timed something that would have stuffed the jab. Too bad, jab, 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 and the jab hits you. It's crap. You know, it's sad because I feel that Street Fighter 6 is a great competitive game, but it just can't be online because of the bad choices that Capcom made with this game. All right. Still better than Street Fighter 5. You're never going to hear me say that Street Fighter 5 was better. I'd be a blatant liar if I told you that. But Street Fighter 6 has innate problems in its design, and one of them is that they're reliant on this bullshit netcode that's not actually good, but everyone is so dumb in the FGC, they just keep believing it is. And now that these issues are happening, it's being exposed. You know, last night was just huge exposure show that their system doesn't work anymore. It was sad. Here I am playing my best, playing well, and the connections just keep fluctuating. Well, I can't make that not happen. Really, I can't. No, I didn't know that. Falcuel says, did you see your comments about modern fighting games being figured out too fast went viral in the FGC? It has had mixed reception. No, I pay no attention whatsoever. If it did get attention in the FGC, good, because they need to start talking about this shit. They really do, because this is why their games die so fast. And this is why there's no real hype around the FGC anymore like there used to be, because they literally give out the strategies 2 days in, and then there's nothing to discover anymore, and there's no fun period to play the game. It's just right to the grindstone, meta, 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 and that's not fun. You destroy the fun of a game when you expose its meta to get clickbait views. Anyway. That's funny. Falcuel, if you have any evidence of that, I'd like to see it. You know, if you have some videos or things that people have been talking about, I would love to hear it or see it. Maybe I could talk about it on a future podcast this week. Maybe DM me on X or shoot me an email. I would love to see that, okay? But anyway, getting back to the subject at hand here, you know, it is what it is. It looks like if I'm going to play ranked, I now just have to put up with this nonsense, which is not going to be fun. I like Mai Shiranui, and I want to keep playing with this character and continue to improve with her. But If every time I play ranked, my experience is 4-bar connection that degrades to 2-bar in the middle of the match, it's not going to be fun and it's not going to be pretty, and you're going to get a lot of rage and salt out of me, that's for sure. You know, I called it like it is, but I just find it hilarious that the moment that I left ranked and went back to casual, I had a full 4-bar green connection with 0 lag, and I destroyed the person that I play. So anyway, I don't know what happened with my internet last night. As you can see, it's not happening today. It doesn't. This issue with my internet kind of dropping out doesn't seem to be happening. With day streams. It's happened a couple times recently on night streams. And I'm wondering if this is just a thing going on with Comcast internet in my area at night for some bizarre reason. I don't know. We'll see again. You know, tonight I want to play Call of Duty. We'll see if it happens with that. I'm going to be playing more Street Fighter this week. We'll see if it happens with that. Like, it's very confusing. I want to do ranked play with I would like to get to master ranking, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it if the connections are bad constantly. And if I keep having the internet have these fluctuations. So I guess we'll have to see what happens. Okay. All right. Well, that is my Street Fighter 6 segment. So by the way, now I'm in 4-star diamond because after I did my ranked placements, I couldn't even play a full set without insane lag and losing entire matches to the lag. It was completely stupid bullshit. I couldn't even do, people were jumping and I couldn't even do the flame flip, which I call it the dragon punch. That's all it is. It's a dragon punch. It's like a Shoryuken for that Mai has. I couldn't even get it to come out. She would do standing kick instead. Like, dude, I fucking did the input. It's the easiest input. You're out of your mind. You know, I've only been playing fighting games since the inception of Street Fighter 2 in arcades. I don't know why you think I can't do a fucking dragon punch, but the game sucks online. So what can I do? If the connection keeps fluctuating, I can't play it, right? Okay. So let's see what happens moving forward. Okay. No, I don't fundamentally misunderstand rollback netcode. It's that the FGC fundamentally won't accept the reality of rollback netcode and keeps kissing each other's ass and stroking each other's balls, saying that it's great when it's not. You can believe whatever you want because everyone is stupid and ignorant, or you can fess up to reality that it's not the perfect netcode and it has tons of issues, which you can see if you just watch things matter-of-factly instead of living in a bubble of hype and bullshit, which is what the FGC does. Okay. Yes, it's very tough to be the smartest man in the room. It really is. It really is. It's tough to be the person who literally doesn't fall for hype. Like, seriously, it's tough to be the person who talks the truth, but everyone else but I don't get it because everyone else disagrees with you. No, they don't disagree with me. They all just believe the people who say the bullshit because they're gullible. They don't know any better because all they've ever experienced was rollback netcode, and they've been told constantly that's the best. Since, you know, they're told by the top people in the FGC and the Canon guy who designed it and the people who run Evo and these person and that person. So they all just, oh, okay, instead of actually looking with their own fucking eyes to see how bad it is. Why would you be teleporting in a fighting game? Why would you do an input and the game takes your input back and says, no, you didn't do that? That's crap. Why would you want to play a fighting game where someone who mashes jab like a retard is favored over someone who did something timed perfectly to counter it? That's bad. There's no way you can dispute this. If you have a logical brain, there is no argument that you can use to counter what I'm saying. But if you're a hype monster idiot and you believe people who don't have your best interests in mind because all they care about is getting hype on the FGC so we can boost those stream numbers and we can get those sponsorship payouts, then I can't fucking help you. You're dumb. So if you want to go through life being dumb, go ahead. I can't stop you. Or you can try using some of the few brain cells you still have in that fucking head and look at the gameplay and look at the results and say, oh, yeah, that shouldn't happen. That netcode sucks. Sorry if you're just dumb. Okay. Okay, well, moving on, we have some shout outs to do. And then we'll probably talk a little about the schedule. And then we have 2 taste tests to do today on the show before we get to Dark Souls conclusion, because we're going to finish Dark Souls today. Mayor Charlie just did a super chat, $5, says, love it when you're brutally honest. It's refreshing because so many people sugarcoat things. It's not even that so many people sugarcoat things. People just lie. People just lie to get ahead, and it's sad. How many, when that whole word, oh, well, at least you made the bag. It's like, wait, what? I can't even believe people would say that. Oh, he made the bag. That saying is offensive to me because for me, I've never once in my life made the bag by pulling the wool over someone else's eyes or being selective with what I told someone. Or, I've always tried to be the truthful person, especially back in the day when I was in the FGC, when I had many opportunities to kiss butt and get favoritism because of it. And I never played the game and I never kissed butt. And I also never received favoritistic treatment because of that. When there was an elite group that always did, the people who were always at the top of the FGC were the ultimate butt kissers. They, stroking the cock, licking the balls of the people in charge, and they always got rewarded for it. While I was not, I was the complete polar opposite. And that's one of the major reasons why so many people didn't like me, because I was the outspoken, brazen asshole who would always tell the truth. But man, the truth doesn't pay. You're right. It doesn't. Why do you think here I am, 16 years into an online creation career, and I'm a small-time dude? There's a reason for it. I didn't play the game. I didn't take the sponsorship. I didn't kiss the ass. I didn't stroke the cock. I didn't do all these things that everyone else has done, become paid shill loser bitches, paid programming, advertisements. I refuse to do it. When I see something that I feel is not good, I speak out about it. And that will probably always be my shortcoming and my downfall, because I can't keep my mouth shut about something when I see it, But at the same time, I'm still here after 16 years, and there's probably a good reason for that, So there you have it. While so many other people faded into obscurity, got canceled, or let's be honest, just became irrelevant because their bullshit just didn't last. So they just, flew away. Or they made their bag, proved that they didn't care about what the fuck they were doing to begin with, and they ran off with their money and they were never seen again. Me, I'm always going to be a part of the game because I love it. I'm here for the long haul. Okay. Let's go ahead and do some shout outs. A troll. Look at this next one. A troll. 2 trolls. So I could just ignore it. Alrighty then. 2 troll tips. What's going on, Game Boy? How are you today? Oh no, trolls do tip. They're just morons. They tip and to say dumb shit that I never read. Because at this point, it's like I've explained to you guys, when people tip, all right, I see whatever you put in the body of your tip, and I also see your email address. These idiots still tip me, despite the fact I know their email addresses now, and I know that because they try to fool me too. They'll be like, oh, they'll do a tip that's like a positive tip, and then they'll do like a negative tip. So one will be like, oh, something that seems like it's positive and real, and the next tip is like, you're a piece of shit, right? But the thing is now, I actually know their email addresses, so I don't fool for their bullshit. I don't fall for their bullshit. So as soon as I see it, I just say, troll, and I just skip it. I don't even read a word of the body anymore. Nope, skip it. Okay. Mortarian says, what about Monster Hunter? I want to talk a little bit about Monster Hunter yesterday. There's not much to say, to be frank. So yesterday I played the Monster Hunter Wild beta. All right. Here's my thoughts in a nutshell. Okay. it actually performed really well on my gaming PC, which is weird because I heard a lot of people saying that it doesn't run well, but I guess that you're talking about 1 or 2 gens old graphics cards. For me, on my current gaming PC, it ran beautifully. It was 4K, 60 frames, didn't even drop any frames of animation. Even during the big-ass boss fights, it was still smooth, silky smooth, great lighting, great effects, looked amazing to me, okay? Gameplay, very sound. You know, having 2 different weapons that you could switch between. I had one ranged and one melee, and it was working really well in that regard, and I liked switching between and learning the different ways to play. You know, weak point, I was attacking the weak points and stuff with the gun, but with the hammer, I was more getting in there and just, like, pounding with it. Um, and I thought the traversal was actually working pretty nice. I will say this, as someone who doesn't play Monster Hunter, the one thing that was daunting was trying to learn the heads-up display and the UI. I do feel like it was kind of overly convoluted. There's literally shit everywhere. Upper left-hand corner, there's like 4 bars. Bottom left-hand corner, a map with 17 icons. Bottom right-hand corner, like 4 different inventories. And then upper left-hand corner, something else. Like, oh God, I gotta learn all this shit to even understand what the hell's going on. There's like 17, 18 pieces of information on the screen at once, okay? But once you kind of get into it, it's pretty good. Okay? It is pretty good. I think that's a very sound game. For people who are going to be playing online and doing co-op with buds and teams and stuff like that. I think it would be a really great game. Now, here's the thing. As I'm playing it, Mortarian here explained something to me. Mortarian said, "We understand this is the beta, okay? The beta is different than the real game." I said, "Well, how so? What will be different?" He said, "Well, first of all, you're not going to have unlimited resources. Like right now in the beta, they give you unlimited items, so you can just keep going out and hunting, and that's not the case in the real game. You know, in the real game, you have to earn all those items or whatever. Fair enough, makes sense. But the other thing about the real game is that in the real game of Monster Hunter, you have to go out there and repetitively fight the same bosses and monsters over and over to look for crafting items. The reason you need crafting items is to make higher level weapons and armor. Basically, what will happen is you can be the best Monster Hunter player on the planet, but if you don't get better weapons and armor, you're going to hit a wall. You cannot beat the tougher enemies because your stuff's too weak. And so what's going to end up happening is you're going to have to go out there and repetitively hunt the same monsters over and over and over in the hopes that they do a random drop, because it is RNG, that you're going to get that item you need to craft and upgrade your equipment to get to the next level. So now you can finally go on to the bigger, tougher hunts. So here's the thing. The first time I fight a monster, it might be fun. The second time, and I'm getting better at it, it's probably cool. But imagine, for example, that I was playing Dark Souls, right? And imagine if I had to beat Gravelord Nito 27 times in order to advance the game. At some point, you're going to get bored, don't you think? Like, what the fuck? We have to do this again and again and again? Well, Nito's going to drop the key eventually, and one day I'll get the key so I can open the door and get to the next part of the game. Okay? So apparently that's the formula of Monster Hunter. Like, you absolutely need to go back and grind so much to get what you need to make advancement that it becomes a chore. And when it becomes a chore, it becomes less fun for the player, but notably, it's going to become way less fun for the viewer. So if this is the case, and this is how Monster Hunter works, I could totally get it if I was playing with a dedicated team of friends and we had camaraderie, and the reason that people would want to come see us play Monster Hunter is because we're hanging out together, and we're having a good time, and we're talking, and we have social interaction. So you're there for the conversation, and the guys hanging out having a good time. And then if they happen to get the rare drop, great, now on to the next part of the game. For me, I'm not going to be doing that. For me, I'm playing the game on its own merits. I'll be playing solo, and every once in a while having co-op with randoms, and it's not going to be nearly as fun when I have to kill that same enemy 27 times to get the rare hide drop so I can upgrade my weapon and then fight the next boss, right? So, it seems to me like it's probably out of the question, okay? Unless someone convinces me otherwise. Okay, excuse me. Sorry about that. Unless someone convinces me otherwise, I just don't foresee it working. Now, in addition to that, as I was playing Monster Hunter yesterday, okay, I played for over an hour and I raised $4. And then I spoke up and I said, you know, for people who really wanted me to play this beta, who have been telling me that I've been missing out on Monster Hunter so badly by not playing Monster Hunter World and Monster Hunter Rise, sure seems weird that here I am playing the beta of Monster Hunter Wilds, which you asked me for, and I made $4. You know what I mean? Like, if you really wanted to see me play the game, why aren't you supporting me actually playing the game? Especially because I was liking it. It wasn't even like I was sitting there and saying the game is bad, it's boring. I was actually enjoying myself. But the people who seem to be the loudest about Monster Hunter are not the people who are supporting the content. Okay? Now, when I spoke up about it, and I did bring this up, I did raise an additional like 20 something dollars by the end of the night. So we started at $75 that I'd raised during the podcast. I made $4 in the first hour, and then I made like maybe 20, $25 till the end of the stream. So we ended up at like $100 by the end of the stream. Didn't hit the goal. And if anything, just kind of showed once again, are there people out there who want to see me do a variety of stuff? Yes. Do those people necessarily show up and support streams? No. Just like the people who screamed about Final Fantasy VII Rebirth being canceled, but they never showed up to a stream nor supported one. Just like the people who said, man, you're just a horrible content creator because you didn't play Metaphor. Despite the fact that I did play Metaphor for 12 hours during the early demo, loved it, wanted to play it, and no one showed up for the streams, and I made $30. Sorry, this is reality. All right, this is my job. I have to be able to make a living. I can't just pick and choose a game, say, oh, I love this game, I'm going to play it for 100 hours and make $10 every time I play it and expect that magically things are going to go well. That's not how it works. Just being honest, okay? If you like a certain genre of game, you have to show up when I'm playing it. You have to support it. It's very simple. It's a simple formula, all right? So if you liked Monster Hunter and you've been dying to see me play it, why didn't you show up to the stream yesterday and why didn't you support it, right? And where were the people who I said, hey, comment on the videos and let me know what you think? Where are the comments? Because I checked the comments and there's very few. So again, sounds to me like a vocal minority, right? People who really wanted to see Monster Hunter kept asking for it, telling me I was mistaken, that I didn't play it. I was told, oh, that was your audience back then, and that was a long time ago, Phil. Monster Hunter Wilds, or Monster Hunter World, that was like 7 years ago. Your audience has changed, okay? Okay, let me try it in the modern day. Same exact results. Literally same results. When I played the Monster Hunter World demo, people actually sat there complaining that they just wanted me to play anything else but that because it was too boring. With the Wilds demo, that didn't happen, but half the chat said the game sucked. Half the chat did engage, but no one supported it anyway. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't... It really is very simple, cause and effect kind of deal. And I can't make people show up, engage, and support with content. You can ask for as much as you want, and I can give it a try. But with Monster Hunter Wilds, it just didn't come together yesterday. I don't know what else to say. It's going to take a lot of doing and a lot of convincing if you actually want me to play that game. All right? And the thing is, I liked it. I was enjoying it. But I've got to do what's right for the business and the stream. I'm not streaming for myself. I'm streaming to entertain an audience. And if the game isn't entertaining the audience to the level that they want to support, then I can't stream that game. I have to do something different. That's how life works. Okay? Okay. So, there you have it. Okay? I like Monster Hunter Wilds. I don't know if it would work realistically. I don't know if it would work as a playthrough, if it really is as grindy and repetitive as people are telling me. But I liked the beta, but it just didn't work yesterday. So unless someone convinces me otherwise, I'm skipping the game later this month. Okay? There you go. No, you see, that's false too. Mortarian says, if you like it, maybe see if you can play it with someone and see how it works, because a lot of your audience said they would rather see you play with someone. That's a lie, because when I played it previously, when I played the Monster Hunter World beta, I had a full team. At that point, I had moderators and fans joining me, and we were all working together, talking, communicating to take out the bosses. It was a very cooperative stream that was a lot of teamwork and stuff like that. Everyone said they hated it. Anyway, all right, so that's that. Schedule-wise this week, here's what we're working with. Today, it's the conclusion of Dark Souls with mods. It's been a fun ride, over 20+ hours of gameplay. Today, we're going to beat Manus. We're going to go back to the Lord Vessel, and we're going to go through there fighting all those Dark Knight dudes at the end, and we're going to fight Gwyn. I'm going to see if I can parry Gwyn because I have the parry build that I haven't used the whole game, but I'm going to see if Gwyn is parryable. I believe he is heavily parryable, and see if I can beat him like that. That should be pretty fun. So we're going to wrap that up on today's stream. The late stream tonight is Call of Duty as long as I can play it. I'm going to give it a shot, all right? I'm still in pain. Yes, I still have this pain in my shoulder and arm and neck, but I'm going to try to play it tonight and see how it works. If it works, great, and if not, and we got to change it up or do something else, I guess we'll have to, okay? Tomorrow, day stream will be Ninja Gaiden 2 Black. We're heading near the end of the game. I'd argue 2 streams and we're done. We're in chapter 12 of 17, so we'll probably end up beating like 2-3 chapters tomorrow, and then probably one more stream to complete the game. And then tomorrow night is Smart Guys, my wrestling commentary show, which will be on the DSP Reacts channel as well as my Kick channel. Tomorrow we are changing the show a little bit. It will not have the big grill fill segment. Instead, it's going to be more heavily focused on pro wrestling. A lot of people have said this is what they want. The grill fill was fine for a little bit, but now it's gotten out of hand, and we're not really getting anything out of it anyway. You know, the people who you think would like it and want to support it aren't doing so, so why are we wasting time on it? So it's going to be way more wrestling-focused tomorrow night. Wednesday, first stream ever, Onimusha Warlords. I'm playing it as the daytime stream, and we're going to see how it goes. I'm excited to see if it goes well, because when I played it during the Viewer's Choice event, I loved it. I thought it was a great game. So I actually want to give it a shot as a playthrough and see what happens. Wednesday night will be more Street Fighter 6, so we'll see how it goes on Wednesday, and if the connections hold up or if it still ends up being a laggy freaking mess, I guess we'll have to see. And then Thursday, all right, will be a daytime stream of probably either Call of Duty or Ninja Gaiden 2 Black. I'm kind of undecided, but it's probably going to be one of those. Remember, Thursday night, I am not doing a normal night stream because I'm going to be appearing on the Truth Seekers Show channel on YouTube on a live stream that's going to be called The Most Controversial People on the Internet. It's going to be an interview between myself and Stephen Cambion. I actually don't know how to pronounce his last name. I'm just going to say Stephen C. All right, so I don't sound like an idiot. And it's going to be a good interview. All right, I think it's going to be a good time. He said it's going to be roughly 90 minutes. We'll play it by ear. It's going to start around 7 p.m. Pacific time. Again, that's the Truth Seekers Show channel on YouTube if you want to bookmark it and check it out early. And after that, depending on how it goes, if there's extra time, I may do a mini stream on my own channel to try to just like decompress and talk about how it went. Okay, but we'll see how it goes Thursday night. And then Friday is my final stream of the week. Likely the day stream will probably be like going for the conclusion of Ninja Gaiden 2 Black. That's what I'm thinking. Now, the late stream on Friday, okay? We're going to see what happens. If I can play the Elden Ring Night Rain beta and I can stream it and record it and broadcast it and upload it, I'm going to be doing that Friday night because that's actually, you know, the first opportunity I would have to play it. But if when they send out the codes for this beta tomorrow, FromSoft says, well, here's the non-disclosure agreement. You're not allowed to broadcast or record it. You're not allowed to talk about it. You're not allowed to do this or that. Then I'm just not going to do it. Let's see what they allow and what they don't. Right now, there is zero information on the internet about it. I have looked. There's nothing. So anyone who tells you, oh, there's all this, they're lying. There's no information about it at all. There was nothing in the initial sign-up. There was nothing in the email that says you're in. I'm waiting. I'm assuming they're going to do it with the codes. All right. So let's see what happens. But if it's not allowed to share it, then I'm probably just going to skip it. And instead, we're going to do just like Friday Night Fights, and maybe we'll do Marvel vs. Capcom Collection, or maybe we'll do more Street Fighter 6. I'm not sure. So let's see. Let's see what happens. All right. Hopefully they allow it. I can't imagine they wouldn't, but then again, who knows with these guys? I don't know what they're going to do. You know, I hope that they're going to allow it and that we're going to be able to enjoy it and play it together and have a good time. But it remains to be seen. Okay, fair enough. So that's the week, and then next week we've actually got new release stuff. Like next week we've got Avowed. Next week we've got that other game from is it Don't Nod, the makers of Life is Strange. It's called Lost Records. And then after a few days after that, it's the Fatal Fury open beta, and then we got Like of Dragon, Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii. So we've got a very busy second half of February once we start hitting that content next week. Okay? Cool. All right, folks. Let's do it. Let's go ahead and do our double taste test that I owe ya. And then once we're done with this, I guess we will open it up to some Q&A to end the show. So there's 4 items left in this box. I'm about to do 2 of them. I've already ordered a European treats box. That European treats box is coming today. Let me check the status. Oh, it's coming. Oh, wow. It's almost here. It says, we lost signal from your delivery driver, but your delivery is on the way. So it's supposed to be coming within the next hour. All right, I wanted to show you what the new box looked like, since obviously we're going to be doing it like really soon. So let's see what happens. I don't know how they lost connection with my delivery driver. That's pretty funny, actually. The driver stole my box. The driver is opening my European treats box right now and eating all of the snacks in his truck. Wow. Okay, ready? 2 more out of the 4 left. Let's do this big thing. This is Sankaku crackers, and it shows like the ocean waves coming in, and then there's a cracker on this side. Sankaku crackers. All right, let's see what this is. Well, it's a tray with crackers in it. All right. They don't particularly smell like anything. I smell like some kind of a seasoning on it, but I have no clue what it is. So let's see. What exactly is a Sankaku cracker? It looks like a little triangle with 3 holes in it. All right, let's find out. Ready? To eat one, you have to say 3, 2, 1. Sankaku! That was weird. At first, it was like a sweet cracker, but then it had like a salty, savory, almost like a seaweed flavor. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1. Sankaku! It's odd. I don't really know what to make of it. It tastes like a standard sweet cracker, but then it has a savory, salty coating. So let's find it. Triangle crackers. Cute triangle-shaped bite-sized crackers with a savory, salty, nori seaweed. I was right. Seaweed flavor. I was dead on correct. Seaweed crackers. It's not bad. They're not bad. I don't dislike them. I've grown to like the taste of seaweed more since I started eating Asian cuisine out here in Washington, such as, poke bowls, sushi, etc. You get used to the flavor of seaweed. Or Korean food, like we've had bibimbap and stuff like that, and that has like seaweed in it. It's not bad. I don't love it, but I definitely don't dislike it. It's good. It's decent. Okay. Yes, I've tried octopus, Mayor Charlie. Yakitori is great. I love yakitori. Okay. One more treat. Now, you tell me what these guys are doing. I have no idea. They're doing all kinds of work on the package. It looks like they have like a well or a cauldron. It looks like there's a woman looking into the cauldron, but there's a guy with like a hammer. And then it shows a guy who's like in a tree, but it looks like he's sowing seeds on the tree that's already growing. I have no idea. And there's no words on this at all, but there is a cute doggo. Right there. Do you see the cute doggo right there? So I have no idea what's in this. Jasper. Oh, careful, Jasper. Don't hurt yourself. Careful, careful, buddy. Bonked his head on the bottom of the table. Be careful, okay? Okay. Let's see what these are. These also feel like crackers to me. It feels like it's a pack of crackers. What the? It's a little puff of some sort. A little crispy puff, but I have no idea what it is. I still have no idea what it is. I have no clue. It doesn't particularly taste like anything. It just kind of tastes like a plain, crunchy puff with no flavor. What did I say? Yes, I meant takoyaki. What did I say? I have no idea what these are. I'm going to look it up in a second. Very generic puffed snack flavor. No real flavor to it. Let's see. Okay, these are called mochi or mochi. I don't know how to pronounce it. Taro crackers. Pack of okaki rice crackers, flavored lightly, salted crunchy snacks, and a peanut. There is half of a tiny peanut in there. It's just a half of a peanut. There's nothing special to that at all. It's okay. It's pronounced mochi. Thank you. I never knew that. Mochi. Okay. They're very generic. Like I said, if you like a puffed rice snack of any type, that's exactly what it tastes like. There's like no seasoning on it at all. So between the two, man, I don't know. They're both okay. They're both just okay. I don't dislike them, but I don't really like them either. I don't know if I would actually go out of my way to get them. They're just all right. Man, all right. Well, here's the deal. My other snack box might actually be here already, and I'm going to check in a second to see if it did get delivered since they lost connection to the signal. But there's only 2 items left in this box. So we could finish the Sakura box today, and then we could start with the European treats tomorrow. Or we could actually start with European treats today, but we have to hit 3 goals. All right, because we're only 2 goals away from DSP Tries It, and each goal is the last 2 of these. Okay? There we go. All right, well, there we have it. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, wow, do I have something to show you? Do you want to see difference in quality? Are you ready for this? So, This was the 30 treats box, Japanese snacks from Sakura Box. That's the name of the box. And this, oh, oh, is the 25 treats box from Europe. Look at the difference in size. Are you kidding me? This box weighs 3 times as much as this box did. No lie. It's so heavy compared to this box is so heavy compared to what this box was when I first got it. Are you ready? Wait till you take a look inside of this too. You guys want snacks? Feast your eyes on this. Now that is what I call a box of freaking snacks. I don't want to spoil, but these are full-size candy bars. 25 different full-sized candy bars. Pretty insane. And it's the same, I'm not even kidding you, same price. That one was just around 30 bucks. This one was 25 bucks. So, holy shit. I'm looking just a quick glance. I've never seen any of these before in my life. I have no clue what any of these items are. They look interesting, but I don't have a clue what any of them are. We're going to have to look them up. This one doesn't come with a guidebook. No, it doesn't. They just threw the snacks in here. So we're going to have to look these up when we test them. So I don't want to spoil. I'm going to close it. I don't want to spoil myself. Okay? And the thing is, I don't even know. We're going to have to look them up and see where they're from. Like, are they from a certain area of Europe? You know, I don't know. So this is going to be cool. So we have 2 more to go. Finish up the Sakura box. And then once this is done, we go right into this big European box. 100 freaking snacks. Okay? Okay, this is hilarious. I have to address this. Sharpay says, Phil dropped the hard R earlier, but he says freaking instead of fucking. I don't get it. You now understand that the word retarded is not a slur? It's not. Do you know what it means to retard something? It means that it's slowed down. It's meant to not be of full speed or capacity. It means it's being held back. It's not an offensive word. Morons have made it an offensive word because they're a bunch of sissy bitches. There's nothing wrong with the word retard or retarded. It has a meaning, all right? This is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. We used to use that word every single day on the fucking schoolyard when I was 5 years old. It's not an offensive word. You know, there are offensive words out there. The N-word is an offensive word because it's directed at a certain group of people of a certain race in an offensive way. That's a bad word. Retard and retarded is not a bad word unless you are the biggest bitch on the planet. You should get used to it. Okay? Unbelievable how dumb some people are. Okay, let me, my curtains have opened and they're right in my eyes. I can't see. Hold on. Let me ask this question then for the geniuses who think that the word retarded is a slur. So when you say mentally stunted, is that a slur too? Because I say it, everyone says mentally stunted and no one bats an eye. That's okay. But if you say the other word, I'm so offended. Why? It means exactly the same thing. Oh, so now you actually start thinking about it, you're like, oh, so there's no logic there. No, there is no logic. You're an idiot. That's correct. Okay. Big Boss did a $2 super chat. Kinder eggs have a toy in them. Don't eat it whole. Okay, I don't know if there's a Kinder egg in that box or not. I have no idea. Okay. Dentronic says that's like having to rename something that is flame retarded to make it not offensive. Actually, it's retardant, but it means basically the same thing. If something is retardant, it means that it stops something. If when you say something is retarded, it means that it's not been to its full capacity. It's been slowed down. So if it's flame retardant, it stops flame. It slows down flame. Get it? But again, people are just so dumb. They take offense at anything. Why would you be offended at that? That is something that people called me when I was 5 years old. If you call me that today, I'll laugh at you and say, "What are you, 5?" It's not offensive. It's not meant to be offensive. There you go. Bonos Temo says, if you're saying it to actually insult a cognitively disabled person, it's a problem. But if you're saying it to a troll or a detractor, it's acceptable. No, if you say that word, retarded, all right, and you say it to someone in this regard, it means you think that they're actually mentally slow, and that's why they'd be dumb and do dumb things and say dumb things and act in a dumb way. It doesn't mean you actually believe that they have a physical condition. It's a word meaning that they are actually mentally slow, which is what the word is meant to mean. That's actually what it means. Don't you get it? I can't believe we're having this discussion that people are that dumb. Really, I just can't. You're that stupid. Wow, that's pretty impressive. No, you see, CS James, that's the problem. Because people misunderstand. People actually think that when I'm using the word, I'm using it as an insult. I'm not. It's a genuine descriptor. Okay? I want you to understand something. People that sit around all day on the internet, opening their phones, their laptops, their tablets, their mobile devices, going to one of my detractors' channels, watching the content that they put out every day that's illegally restreamed, that is completely out of context, purposefully over-exaggerated, defamatory, slanderous content, and they legitimately believe it is fact, and then they propagate it, and they have a community based around it, and they have friendships and relationships based around it, and they have memes, entire memes, that if someone says a word, just a single word, Wolverine toy, ooh, and that's how they react. They go just like this, ooh, Wolverine toy, I recognize that. That is not normal human behavior. That is not representative of a regular human's intelligence or behavior. That is showing signs of actual retardation, that your brain has been stunted and you're acting like that. But people don't care because they go through life acting like cows or acting like sheep, and they just go with the flow. They don't actually think for themselves. They just act stupid. And there's millions upon millions of people on planet Earth that are literally just stupid creatures that never add anything to the planet. They're just there to exist and take. They are dunces. They are just big sucks on natural resources. They're not there to be productive. They're not there to be constructive. They're not there to spread anything positive, happy, or to improve anything for anyone around them. They are just sucks. Big, vacuous existences of sucking on the positive and giving nothing back. Those are my detractors, and those are the people who watch my detractors. Do you get it? Those aren't normal people. Those aren't intelligent, sharp, savvy people who are thinking, who are actively doing something to make life better for people around them. These are just people along for the ride. I'm not saying that they're suffering from some kind of a medical condition. I'm saying their brains are stunted because they don't actually take the time to think about what they do. You get it? This is not a slur or an insult. This is a descriptor, an actual adjective to their behavior. If you're describing someone as something and it's accurate, it can't be offensive, stupid. Do you get it? It's only offensive when you use it in a way that you're trying to insult. I'm literally not trying to insult anyone. I'm telling you these people are mentally slow based on their behavior. It's a direct cause and effect. There is no intentional insult here. This is how it is. They're dumb. Get it? Oh, that's absolutely true. Sylvania says, to be fair, there's people who are pure contrarians to anything you have to say simply because they don't like you. And that's the bottom line. Is they will never listen to reason, they will never listen to logic, they will never listen to fact. To them, reality is an actual fantasy they've created around their narrative and these weird cult-like group communities they have on the internet. People of like mental stuntation who act this way, and they've all grouped together. It's like blood coagulating. You know, it's pretty messed up. No, Grey Zero Taste, I had to go check out. Now I will respond. So Grey Zero Taste did a $10 Australian super chat, which is around like $6.60, something like that American. So not the top super chat, but you know, we'll add it to the leaderboard here. And he says, I watched your PSN outage video. I hope it's okay to ask, what about Game Pass? We actually addressed this in the video, but I don't know if that was actually addressed in the clip that I made. So with Game Pass, here's the difference. Game Pass is not just an online, you know, gaming service. There's tons of added value with Game Pass for the games you're getting. And I even said it with me and my situation with Game Pass. By the way, my camera has malfunctioned here. It went all the way over here to the wall. Oh crap, I'm gonna have to reset the camera. With Game Pass, you're getting games every single month, right? For example, I'm just about to get Avowed, and then I'm playing Call of Duty on there, right? I played Indiana Jones on there. Like, there's a serious number of games that I'm playing on Game Pass that all have added value to Game Pass. That's not just, oh, I'm paying for the online service. So I can definitely see the justification of paying for and getting Game Pass for sure. You know what I'm saying? Are you kidding me? It wants to update more drivers for this camera. I'm not shitting you. This is ridiculous. Yeah, look, image quality optimization and routine bug fixes your experience. All right, let's update it. It's claiming that it's going to improve the quality of this camera again. And now it wants to do it again? Oh, no, it wants to actually update the drivers on this camera now. Oh, crap. Okay. So it's updating the drivers on that camera, and now there's a driver update for this camera that's brand new. Image quality optimization, bug fixes. Yeah. Well, I don't really think I should do the driver update for this camera when I'm broadcasting, right? So I'll skip that one. All right, so it's updating the firmware on this camera right now. Okay, because I was wondering, the camera was screwed up. I was like, what's going on? It's actually updating the firmware again. Okay, so this is a brand new one. Thank God. This is not a serious issue. This is an actual routine firmware update on that camera that's actually brand new from today. Cool. So anyway, getting back to the subject at hand. Yeah, if you're getting Game Pass, you're getting the online service, but you're also getting a ton of games. You're getting added value. I have Game Pass Ultimate, and I'm getting a ton of games out of it. Like I said, I'm playing Call of Duty. I played Indiana Jones. I'm playing Ninja Gaiden 2 Black. I'm about to play Avowed. That makes sense. I mean, I got Game Pass not to play games online, but to have it as this service where I get games every month. That's a lot different than saying, oh, I'm dropping $10 a month for Xbox Live just to play some games online, when everyone else has stuff on PC, doesn't have to pay for it online. I think it's ludicrous that they charge you for that stuff. That's just out of control, in my opinion. So anyway, there you go. And then Great Zero Taste actually did another super chat and said, sorry, I've only seen the clip. Yeah, I think the clip basically just covered the premise of what I was saying. And then actually, just like you just said, later on in the show, someone asked me that very question and I addressed it, but that was an added part and that wasn't in the clip. So thank you, Great Zero Taste. And CD has been a member for 5 months and says, based. Well, thank you, CD. You know, so, to be honest, I'm just so tired of people on the internet being so ignorant and stupid and trying to say dumb shit. Like, so you can't use words in a factual way anymore to actually describe anything because it's offensive. No, you can. You can. No, really, you can. And you need to tell people they're pussies and to grow the fuck up. To stop trying to make the entire world forbidden. What are we going to do? Burn books next? Oh, you know, any book that has that word in it, we got to burn because it's so offensive. Go fuck yourself. How about that? You want offensive? Go sit on a cactus and spin. Stop ruining our world because you're a bunch of fucking sissies and cowards and you can't live with reality, all right? All right. Mayor Charlie did a $5 super chat. He says, I'm disabled, but I'm okay with you saying the word retarded because I'm not using it in a manner that's disrespecting anyone who may have that condition. I'm using it in the word as a descriptor. It's different. I think the problem is people turned the word into a medical condition. That's not the purpose of the word. The purpose of the word means to hold back, to slow down. You know what I'm saying? That's what the word means. So if you're using it in that regard, saying someone is that, you're saying you are mentally stunted. You are actually held back mentally. You're not a normal, logical person. That's why you act in an abnormal way. Then it's being used properly. If you're trying to say they actually have that medical condition, that's different. And I've never even used it that way. That's the last thing that I even think of when I use the word, when I say the word. Okay. Oh, the update worked? Let's see. It did. Cool. All right. Let's get it working again. Uh-oh. Don't tell me it reset everything. There we go. Okay. Here we are. I'm going to be using it shortly. I got to zoom it in slightly more. There we go. That should be good. I think. We'll see. It's supposed to be auto following me. Is it? Now it is. Okay. I got it working again. Cool. It had a big another update, and this camera too has an update. Yeah, see, it's not going to work now because it updated, so I have to reselect it. Hold on, let me see if I can get it to reselect now. I can get it to reinitialize. There we are. Cool. Excellent. There we are. So apparently this has some visualization updates. I wonder what it did, if it made it actually look a little better. We'll have to see. It is following me right now. Cool. Okay. Sweet. Okay, back to the show. Okay. So thank you to Mayor Charlie. Did I add that to the leaderboard? I don't know because I got distracted by the camera. Did I add that to the leaderboard? I don't know if I did. Was I already at 36 or did I add the 5 to 31 to make 36 because I wasn't paying attention? Shit. Added anyway? Well, I want to be sure I did it right. I don't want to be auto count or over counting or under counting. No, I'm never going to take back the title King of Hate because here's why. The title King of Hate, which was used to be my moniker in the fighting game community, meant that with all the people on this planet that have said negative things about me, things such as you're not good enough, you're not strong enough, you're not smart enough, you're not fast enough, you can't do it. I use that hate thrown towards me to motivate myself to be good enough, strong enough, fast enough, smart enough, and to persevere. I did it in Street Fighter. Many years, everyone said that I was a scrub and I was never going to do anything. And I ended up winning multiple tournaments, placing incredibly high at Evo, and doing all kinds of things like being a tournament organizer. And then I became a YouTuber, and everyone said, no, you're just an idiot. You never do anything. And then I ended up becoming one of the biggest gaming YouTubers on the planet. And despite over a decade of hate, slander, and defamation thrown towards me, I'm still successful in the modern era. And I'm still pertinent. People are still talking about me in communities like the FGC that I have no ties to, nor do I have any desire to be in. They're still bringing me up and addressing things that I'm saying. Okay? So I'm definitely pertinent. All right? But to say that, oh, you own the hate that's thrown against you and then you use it for motivation, people say, oh, no, he's the king of hate. He's a bigot. He's a sexist. He's a racist. He's this, he's that, which is all false. But they do that because that's how they try to get, oh, you see, we'll use his own thing against him. And the truth is, people on this planet are very ignorant. The people on Earth will not take 5 minutes to do the research to actually find out what the moniker means, despite the fact that all the information is readily and easily available. Instead, they'll just believe the absolute worst. So the moment you hear someone being called the king of hate, like, wow, that guy must be a real hateful asshole who's just, a real disgusting person. And, no, that's actually not what it ever was, but people are too stupid to figure it out. So you have to stop using it at some point. And especially now, the modern day where everyone went woke and everything, people were definitely using it against me in very negative ways. Like I said, in 2021, that is actually how they got me kicked off of the Twitch partner program. This is how that they got my Teespring closed. This is how all of that happened, because they sent them basically packaging. He has this website, thekingofhate.com. He uses the King of Hate moniker in his content. And here's some clips from 13 years ago where he said some stuff, and then they'll play the clip about, me playing Dead Space 2 demo with the stupid Nazi joke that I made, right? So there you go. And that's what got me basically kicked out of everything, despite the fact that it was all untrue. So there's no way that sadly I could continue to use the moniker, even if I used it properly and I did convince the world, of what it really meant. They, too many dumb companies out there, too many idiots. So it is what it is. Moved on positively from it. So. Okay. All right. Are we done? I think it's time to end the show. Thank you to everyone who watched and enjoyed. So tomorrow will be an interesting show because we'll recap if I finished Dark Souls, which I think we will, and how it went with Call of Duty, which I don't know how it's going to go with my shoulder and my neck today. I'm going to give it a shot. I don't know how it's going to go. I guess we have to see. All right. So I certainly hope that you will tune in today, and tomorrow we'll recap and should have a good one. It looks like I did receive one final contribution of $5 from One Sick Puppy. I like your nickname. What nickname would you give me? You don't want to know. All right. Well, thank you for the $5 tip. Is that the biggest tip of the day? Yes. Let's get that up there. I can't actually say the nickname I would give you. I would get banned from YouTube. There we go. All right. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Let's end the show, shall we? All right. Thank you for a good one. Tomorrow, we see how today went. And we get ready for... I hope there's some good game news this week. Tomorrow, the codes are supposed to go out for the Elden Ring Night Rain beta. So hopefully if they do, then we'll be able to figure this out and be able to answer what's actually going on with the beta. And if I could play it on Friday and Sunday. I would love to play it Friday and Sunday, but this is all up in the air, dependent on if we can record and broadcast it. So we'll find out. So tomorrow should be a good one. Thank you all. Great show. See you tomorrow. And peace out.